Today's show is Bullet Train with Kanashibushan. The translation of this plaque means, don't complain in the morning that everything is so hard and you have so much work to do, because it is such a wonderful feeling to take care of the people that you really love.
You want me to be facing you more?
No, that's just fine. Bobbleheads we are not today. It's a visit with a person of high strangeness. With Kanashibushan, the bullet train. Oh, excuse me, how are you?
Well, I'm fine. I'm wonderful. Blessed.
We were really fortunate this year. Scarecrow Productions arranged for you to come here this year. And so my friend said, well, while you have her there, why don't you ask her some questions about herself so we know who she is? And so I said to my friend, how many would you like? 12 or 13 or 15? Because he didn't know we had done this already. But then I got to thinking, like a bullet train, we're going to go to your life. So you can start at any point, and if you forgot anything, I remember, you know what I mean? So once upon a time...
I was born.
Yes, born and loud, okay?
I was born in a little tiny mining town called Rosalind, Washington.
Yeah.
To the parents of Samuel and Ethel Craven, maiden name Ethel Williams. And they had 9 children, girls, and then 4 boys, and I'm the 8th girl. My daddy was a coal miner. We are very, very, I don't use this word much, but we are poor, okay?
And he was handsome. I've seen pictures.
Very handsome. 6'2", and my mom was 5'1".
If I was your age, I would have given your mom a run for her money.
I don't think they're going to run, because from what I understand, my daddy came and saw her and told her mother that he was going to marry her immediately, so I don't think he would have had a chance.
Oh, I would have been late. Yeah.
And I went to school in Rosalind, Washington, to Rosalind grade school till the 8th grade, and after the 8th grade I went to Easton High School because I didn't want to go to Cle Island because they're too prejudiced, so I went to this little small town where we had about 25 in the high school. And I graduated from there in 1951. Valedictorian in my class, but it wasn't too bad because I only had 15.
Come on over here, my friend.
And after that I went to business college. And I graduated as a salutatorian in the Griffin Murphy Business College in 1952. I could not get a job after canvassing the streets. I mean, canvassing through walking. I had no money. I walked all over the place. Couldn't get a decent job. Ended up cleaning houses. So, being very foolish and 21 years old, I said, well, if I'm going to clean, quote, Miss Ann's house, I might as well have my own. So I got married.
Married. Yeah,
which was really
go.
foolish. Then I had 1 child and a stepdaughter. Then my husband in a year ran off, and I never saw him again. And so after that, I had another child, and then I got married the 2nd time. So I want you to know I've been married 4 times, and I got it right the 4th time, okay?
Actually, I remember your husband.
Gene?
Yes, I remember. I saw him at Boeing's when we worked at Boeing's.
I got it right the 4th time, but it took that long. But that's okay. I always tell my kids, don't worry about it, because my grandmother got divorced in 1888, so it's in the DNA.
I had a divorced grandmother too. We were all smokers and divorcees. You too? Lisa's our camera person, yeah.
So I got married 4 times, but I raised 8 children, 5 of my own, a granddaughter, a niece, and 1 more that came in. And then after I was 45, I went back to school and got my degree in social service and went to work. My first job was at the sexual assault unit in Seattle, one of the first ones in the United States. Very good, very, very good. Then I worked for the shelter for runaway kids. And then the last one I worked for emergency housing, where we put people in apartments that had no homes. They were sleeping in their cars. And I loved that job because when I was 22, I happened to get stuck in San Francisco and I had no place to live.
Is that the time you lived in your car with 6 kids?
No, it wasn't 6 kids. It felt like 6. I was pregnant and had 2 kids, one with allergies and asthma. Oh, and I lived in my car for a while because my first husband didn't know how to work very well. And so that's why I was really glad to be able to do the emergency housing, because I knew what it was like to live in a car. And I had a lot of empathy, and I did very, very well. And then my mother got ill, so I decided to go back home and take care of my mother. And I went back in 1980-something, and then she died, and I decided to stay. So I was in Ralston until 2009 when my house burnt down. When my house burnt down, I moved about a mile down the road, which is kind of Cleon, but I call it Ralston because it's still, to me, Ralston. And I haven't done much. I traveled a lot. I've traveled to Scotland, Brussels, Belgium. I've traveled to Egypt, or Africa, which I know now is in Egypt's in Africa. I went to Ireland, went to the Bahamas, Jamaica. Can't remember all the rest of them, but I want to go to Russia.
And while all this is going on, she remembered she's psychic. Don't forget about that.
Oh, yes, I guess I am. I'm glad you reminded me. I do forget.
Yeah.
But I'm not as psychic as I was when I was young, and that's why I don't remember as well. Because when I was young, I was really able to see spirits, like your grandma sitting by you, and it was very clear. Now I just sense them, but I used to see them clearly. And that we had a big house, a 12-room rooming house. My mother belonged to my grandmama, and we were all raised there till I was about 10. And there's a lot of ghosts in that boarding house, and I used to see them. And my nephew told me that's why he didn't like that to walk down the street with me, because I was always seeing somebody that wasn't there.
That wasn't there, yeah.
He told me that last year, and I think I'm 76, and he's about 50-something.
Yeah.
He said, that's why I didn't want to be around you, Annie. I said, I wondered, but he didn't tell me till last year. And now I wish it was back, because I really missed it. I miss seeing the fairies in the woods, the nature spirits. But where I'm at now, my back of my house goes right into the woods, and I don't think there'll be any nature spirits, too many people. But I keep looking for them. But when I see a bird, I'm glad. And so the thing I've done that I enjoyed the most is coming doing the predictions. I really love that.
Yeah, we missed you for 2 years.
Yeah.
You couldn't come.
No.
Yeah.
I'd had after the fire, I had 2 strokes, and so I had a pacemaker put in, and so I had to take it easy for a couple of years, but I'm fine now. In fact, I work out in the gym 3 times a week. My trainer's probably about 25, and I'm 77. He says, wow, you're strong. I said, yeah. I used to load a lot of wood, cut a lot of wood and carry it and stuff. He says, well, do you want to go run a marathon? I said, not in this lifetime. But that's about where I'm at. My kids are doing well. Most of them don't live with me. I've encouraged them to go wherever they want in the world. And so one's in Minnesota, 2 of them are in Atlanta, one's in Seattle, 1 in California, all over. I hope they'll go in the world somewhere else, I just want them to see the world and experience it and get to know different people so they won't be narrow-minded.
Since this is a bullet train here,
Slow down, huh?
No. I mean, you're going right along here. But at what point would you remember when we were coming yesterday? We saw a train. We were so disappointed. It was so little. It only had 3 or 4 cars, which was no good. And he said, "I like long trains. I like to count the cars." So do I. So, what number car in your life did you enjoy the most?
The one I'm at right now.
The one you're at right now.
Right now. I love my age. I love where I'm at now. It's just wonderful. I'm in good health. Got a good mind. My memory's not as good, but it's good enough to pay bills and get up in the morning and be thankful and remember some of the things that happened.
Yeah.
So I really like where I'm at because I feel really free, because I know who I am and I'm not concerned about what other people think, because I'm really kind and loving and caring. And so whatever anybody thinks past that, I don't really care. And it's so freeing. So freeing. I think it's wonderful. And I could have more money, I could do exactly what I want to do. I do quite a bit anyway.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. You're 77, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hitting 78 pretty soon.
All right. If I was to say to you, why don't you run for president? How would you answer that?
I would say I would not. I don't like to control nothing. I don't like giving orders, so I wouldn't be good.
Yeah, but the age thing, how can a person that old go into a stressful job like that?
Oh, I think I could do it if I had to do it, because I wouldn't, it's like anything, I would take it not as I wouldn't be more stressful than being hungry, raising 8 kids without no money. Wouldn't be more stressful than that. Seeing people die because they're hungry and all that. I wouldn't take it on myself as all the problems that he said he's taken on. I wouldn't take them on like that. Just do the best I could.
So it has nothing to do with age.
I don't think age, unless you're not functioning mentally, which I think I am.
Mm-hmm. Well, I function mentally, nothing else works. So I couldn't go from the rose room to the blue room.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, you could, because don't forget Franklin Delano Roosevelt was in a wheelchair.
In a wheelchair, yeah. That was
and he wasn't of good mind that much, and he ran it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I don't think the president runs the United States. I think the Congress, the Senate, a lot of other big things, big businesses run it. And I think I make pretty wise decisions with other countries. I get along really good with other countries.
I might be out of line with this, but I'm going to try it anyway because I know you'll tell me when I'm out of line.
I will. That's one thing about being old. You can do that.
You can do that,
they think you're crazy, you know. She's just a little paranoid.
On the show, we showed you a lock that your uncle brought out of slavery.
Yes.
Now, did you lose it in the fire?
Yes, I couldn't find it. I looked all over for that lock before the fire, and I couldn't find it. And I know where I'd put it, but we looked, and my sister went after the fire, and we couldn't find it. So I'm just hoping that this lock that came out of slavery was given to me by a cousin whose grandfather brought the lock out of slavery. Hopefully they have a garden there, and I hope one day when they're digging up in that dirt, they'll find it.
They will know what it is, yeah.
They'll know what it is because I told all my family about it.
Yeah, yeah, but we have shown it to you on
yeah, it's actually a lock out of slavery. It looks like the one that's the young black man in Roots was wearing when he came with those chains. It's exactly like it, but it worked. It was beautiful.
Yeah, when before we filmed it, we poked around in excuse me, and we actually pulled cotton out of it.
Some cotton out of it. I put the cotton in a little plastic bag, and then I couldn't find the bag.
Yeah.
But it was really old. I thought about selling it, but I really wanted to keep it in the family. So I hope that whoever digs it up will know it belongs to somebody in our family and will give it to me, so I can pass it on.
We were talking earlier about, we watched an episode of Ancient Aliens last night, right? And we was looking around in my house and talked about if somebody was to dig me up in 1,000 years or so, they wouldn't know where they are. Because you got things from Africa and Native American and the Middle East. And so if it's all in the same place, your house was like that too. You had things from everywhere.
Well, mostly from family, though. It was, I had some African things, but I had mostly stuff from my mother's friends who had died. Like a bedroom set, trunks, old skillets, lamps. And from the mining thing, I had a drill from the mines.
Well, yeah, so just imagine, here they got a slave lock and a drill from the mines. In 1,000 years, they're going to try to make a story out of those two things.